Hello and welcome to All My Art and Soul. I'm Michelle Holden, and this week is part 3, the final layers of these mixed media abstracts in twos. So, as you can see, I've sort of pre-sorted some collage pieces that were sitting to the left. It's where I put, it's sort of an order of how I work. Being right-handed, grab things on the left. And here are some last-minute papers that I almost attached and I thought, oh, no, we've got to wait until next week. And I'm so glad I let them sit, because then you go, oh yeah, they just need to sit in your studio for, well, these sat for, well, a few days. And I realized that where that orange was going, the eye was going right off the left-hand corner, and I wanted to balance the other squares diagonally across, and with the turquoise blue, and the palette is teal, turquoise, Titan buff, white, black, nickel lazo gold, yellow ochre, and maybe some Payne's gray, but I never ended up using it on this. So I like the simpler the better. So right away, after it sat, they sat, I thought, and saw these pieces. If I'm not sure, I'll just leave them to the left. And then as I'm passing by or doing some other things during the week, believe me, it was a very busy week as we're closing down classrooms. And I cannot wait to get into my art on a full-time basis, even if it is for just a couple of months. So here is this deli wrap paper that I really love printing, stamping, and marking on, and have learned how much to push and how much not to. And as you can see, it still shows the layer below. And I chose this half circle, or it's not really a half circle, it's an arch that emulates the bridge diagram, that's what that is, below it. And I love that when I can start repeating other shapes in different ways. So again, differences. And this was another nice piece of blue sitting around. There was a little purple in it, so I sort of tore off a part with less. And I like the corners nice and straight, and I always love a torn edge on it somewhere. So I thought, no, it needs to go there. And I think the eye is going up that way. The eye continues to the left with those yellow ochre dashes. But I end up putting something there anyway that helps the eye go across to the left and then up again. These are trimmed off, just left over from finished pieces of mixed media, the same as this, that I cropped or chopped up in strips. And knowing that now, I really have to pursue that concept with weaving. And I've seen some in certain areas of a much larger painting, weaving pieces together. I think it goes with what I'm working towards. So definitely the circle being the dominant shape in these two pieces. And now we've got dots, and I love how this soft edge meets right where the other edge in the center above it, and it's very thick. So if you find that you have some cardboard that's super thick like this, you can spritz it on the back with water before you stick it down, because it'll bend much easier. It takes the stiffness out of it. And I know that there's another artist that soaks, but she uses such large pieces of collage, and I forget her name. I'm sure everyone's pretty familiar with her. I'll have to remember her name. And this piece, of course, when I was cleaning off my glass palette, which is on the right, from the paint that I used. I thought, wow, this is a nice piece. And so is that circular black piece of paint. I think it's Payne's Gray and it looks pretty dark. But when you really like something, sometimes it works. And sometimes you have too much. Too much in a way that they're fighting for attention. And that is not a good thing in a piece of work. You want to have one, what do we call it, hero. It can be a bright color. It can be an interesting shape. It can be, and so I thought I just would leave it, just try it to see what it looks like. And this little piece gives me such a hard time. And I try to tear it and then end up ruining the whole thing. I love it. Oh, and by the way, I did not speed up the video this week. This is normal speed. And I thought I would try that because there's lots of things to talk about in between collage pieces or marks that I'm making or just sitting there thinking. And you can sit there and think and watch me fumble that little piece of collage as well. So, no worries. Moving on. Oh, so looking at this piece, I'm seeing the collage papers that, there I go, I grabbed that again. I just won't leave it alone. See, if that piece wasn't on the left, that would work. So I go ahead anyway. I thought, you know what? I really like it. So let's just put it there. And in the end, I end up removing it. So no worries, everyone. Some of you I know will like it. Some of you go, what are you doing? And that's quite okay. Leave a comment below in the comment sections just to see what you think. Should I have kept it? Or was it a mistake right from the beginning? I always love to hear those things. And these wavy lines, of course, and I did mention it in part 2. So if you haven't seen part 1 or part 2, it's just 2 videos back from this. And it's in the mixed media abstract section of my videos. I categorize them abstract art journaling and mixed media abstract. And then shorts, and then I have a couple of other things. But if you go to just all the videos, they're all in order, and you can just recognize these because I use the finished piece in the thumbnail. So, yes, because the eye was just going right off the top. I love the really light. Now, in hindsight, we know how useful hindsight can be. Maybe some whiter lines, a wave emulating their sort of silver. It's that silvery paper that I used in a previous piece. And there's that. Okay, I don't end up using it, but I love the colors because they're so similar. It just doesn't go with the concept or the feeling. It doesn't go with the feeling of this piece. I have some other works that are more pattern, not elements of nature, where these are, because you can see your water and, that may, So I'm putting it back and removing it because I wanted the vertical lines to continue up, and I didn't want to hide that layering over the horizontal ochre. And see the line that I catch on the top with that collage, with that half circle being right at the edge? So it's really neat how you can pick up different lines that are vertical, different lines that are going across, or then no lines at all and just come in with a crazy diagonal. If it fits, if it feels right. So good old Posca markers, Posca pens, you can get them at Amazon. I am not an affiliate or anything. These are just products that I like using, maybe sometime in the future. And I really like how I put the blue in the middle. It makes the eye go up. It doesn't go, it does follow those white dots in the black background. There it is. no, it covers it up and it ruins it. So I'm trying to go for the same kind of idea as I did with the turquoise on the work on the left. But then sometimes things just need to be left alone. So there I am. It's still wavy. It's black and white or black and neutral versus blue and neutral, but now it's too busy. The piece is now too busy. No, I think I did end up leaving it just the way it is. And yes, I think, and so I'm going vertically, just trying some differences. No worries, I do believe I leave it in the end. That's what I love collage, because you can start and have a whole bunch of fun with a bunch of marks and paints and thin layers, and then go dark and cover with light, or the opposite. And then once you start laying down your collage pieces, the areas usually call for that exact kind of, if it's a subtle change, and then shapes or grids start to form on their own. And that's what I love about at least what I'm doing. And I know everybody collages differently, uses pieces differently. Yeah, nope, too busy. So I decide to, okay, let's just put this to the side. And you can see all the coats of the heavy gloss medium that I've put on there. And I'm just sitting and thinking about it, taking one good last look. Still don't know about the black circle. I do end up removing it. Oh, there we go. So the top part between that cloudish or that ephemeral, shape and the black circles seems empty, and empty of just some marks. And sometimes I use just graphite pencil, and sometimes I use the China marker. So while I'm talking, you can watch how tricky peeling a China marker is for me. So yes, I went back, but they don't always peel all the way down. Is there a knack with the China marker? Please leave a comment. I would love to hear how you approach the China marker peeling. So as you can see, my X-Acto knife, making sure I don't go in too deep so I can get some kind of edge, and it's driving me crazy. And I eventually do. But in the meantime, while you're watching, oh, here I go. So what I do is I just look at the work, look at the feeling, and that feeling guides what mark I make. I have a library of marks because that's what you want to build. You want to build your experiences, even if you have like a book, a sketchbook, just for mark making. Now, of course, you're not going to use, the same pencil, but marks, marks, and marks. And I still haven't done that enough. I've done it, but not enough. So putting my little bit of text in there, and in the end, you'll see, and I'll take another photo, I finally find this piece that I've been looking for. And it is a colored photo of, I guess, an old wheat field. And it has these ripples in it that emulate those ripples of that collage. And I just put in a section, and it's the same as the yellow ochre, long, narrow piece on the left. So what ends up happening is a long, narrow, horizontal section goes right across, but it's made in different ways. So you'll see that. So stay to the end, and you'll see it. So I hope everyone is enjoying this little series. I'm going to be moving on to my other, I have to title these, so I'll be working on that tomorrow. and titling a bunch of work and deciding on which I'm going to get framed and which need more or which do I'm just going to leave to the side. And that's always a fun thing. How do you title your work? Where do you get your initial idea? This is how I work. I look. I have an intention, like I'm always talking about, in this feeling, this concept, and then say if it's let's see, transformation. Just say. Then I look up poetry about, transformation. And then in the poems, I don't copy words. I don't do anything like that. There might be one word. There's a phrase or suggestion of other things. Or I use my thesaurus and start just finding other words, combination of phrases to then find my titles. And I like how they relate. So with this one, it's similar to my other larger work that I'm continuing. Just I wanted to explore it further on small pieces with the bridge. Now, the bridge being a metaphor. And I love metaphors. So, songs. I get most of my title ideas when I'm driving in my car, listening to authors talk about their books or poems or songs. And I can't really pull over and write it down. So sometimes I don't remember because I go right from that to work to a full-on day. And if I don't take the time to bring my journal with me and jot it down right away, then I have a library under certain themes of titles. So it's pretty cool. Or you jot them down on a piece of paper while you're creating your series of work. So remember, working in a series is way better than working on individual pieces. That's my belief and a lot of other artists' belief as well. So my text that has been dipped in coffee, this one, because it's a much darker brown. And in the last week's video, I was moving the text around. I had it under the bridge over there. I had it above the white dots on the black background. And I think this is the best spot because it just shows a subtle difference. And what do I do? Oh, yeah. So watch to the end because I wasn't sure that it was getting noticed enough. So I bring some of the black from the rectangular area over to the left. I think I just used the Posca marker. And as you can see, I'm doing the same but very different with this piece. So I want a commonality between the two, but I don't want them the same. And I found a wonderful bridge. There it is. They forgot where they came from. I love those words. That says a lot. They forgot where they came from. And I'll just leave that. See if, sort of like a game. Does anyone know what I'm really talking about? What does that do? Does that mean anything when you just see those words? Leave a comment. There's a lot of comment motivation this week in this video. So, being careful not to get too messy. So I noticed the edges of that was lifting, so I put in a lot underneath. And then I think I'm going to roll it with my brayer. I'm not sure. And interesting pieces. So you have those circles going across the top with other planetary kind of things, circles, phases, all sorts of things. So here I am with that black circle, still playing with it. Yep, no, it definitely, so I have some more. So, let's put some more on. No, that just looks like a blob. So I realized, let's not get carried away. That's just a total distraction and it ruins it. So remove it. So I just playing around. Very strong blue. That's manganese blue from last week. So, mixed media abstract. It's a wonderful medium. I am so glad that I discovered this. And see, that black piece works. Well, it's an idea. It definitely shows up the text, but it's too similar in size. So then here I go. So I'm just going to cut a very narrow piece. And it's not bad, but now we've got too many thin horizontals. See, the thickness is too much the same as the wavy. And now it's not enhancing it, it's just being a big distraction. So here I go, a little narrower. Let's see if this works. And it ends up not working. So I end up using, well, just hang on, you'll see. So don't forget, if you're really liking this content, this channel, and if it's really helping you discover abstract art, let me know. And let me know as to what else. And I know there was a couple of subscribers who wanted to learn about mounting these pieces on a wooden panel. But my panels are 8. And unfortunately, I wasn't thinking ahead enough and should have trimmed them down to 8. These are 8.5. So there's a 1/2 inch all around that I'll lose. And it's overcropped. It's not bad. Maybe the bottom and the sides. So I'll test those to see if I have, any 8x8. And maybe cropping the bottom wouldn't make a difference. A little bit of the top wouldn't make a difference. And I can demonstrate how we do it. So there goes the dashes. And I love that we've got the orange on black, and now we've got the black on orange. It's an opposite. Love it. And just, yeah, I don't want them too short. There's something, yeah, and I need one there, a longer one, and one there. Perfect. All right. Well, I don't know how perfect it is, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So now the eye is carrying right across. It's causing a nice motion happening. And I'm not sure about that, which is great. And, see, you have breathing room when you take that away. So I've decided to just put it to the side. And titling these pieces, well, I can't wait to sit with them tomorrow. I'll let you know. There's more of that really nice transparent tracing paper. And we are almost finished this. Last minute decisions. So I hope you've enjoyed. I think we're coming up to the end. This video. Please don't forget to like or subscribe if you are a new viewer. And don't forget to hop over to the Facebook group. We are just over 400 members this week, and it's a very laid back. I upload a video every Sunday. We call it Studio Sundays, and I think this Sunday, who knows what I'll be showing, maybe how to mount. I think I wanted to focus on some collage paper making. That would go further with this kind of work, this series that I'm working on. And on we go. I really love how that orange emphasizes the blue. So, here are the 2 pieces. Lots of grid going on. Very fun. And working in 2s is super. So I will see you in the next video.